I would like to request Dr. P Sanjay. He is an associate professor, Indian Institute of Management, Sarmur, Himachal Pradesh. He is the most highly qualified IIM professor in India. Has 10 academic degrees, including PhD from India, MPhil from London Business School, UK, MBA from University of Hawaii, and etc. So, let me welcome without wasting any time, because we are really running out of time. So, I would like to request Dr. P. Sanjay on the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, let me thank the organizers, IIHR, for awarding me with the Outstanding Leadership Award. And I would like to mention that, I have been part of multiple NGOs. One of the NGOs where I have been most active has been Art of Living Foundation. And thank you for awarding it. And I take it on behalf of all the volunteers of the foundation. And one of the volunteers is sitting here. So it's not an award to me, it is an award to all of us. So, before, Puja Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar ji says that, whenever any knowledge is to be given, first spend 30 seconds in silence praying to God. So let us just close our eyes for 30 seconds and I'll just recite a mantra and then we start. Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnane Kamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Yes, you can open your eyes. So, since the topic is role of CSR in India, India became the first country in 2013-14 to legally mandate the corporate social responsibility. And of course, I don't want to go into the legal provisions, but one of the thresholds for applicability of CSR to a company was net profit of 5 crores or more. And when we talk of Viksit Bharat, Prime Minister Modi's call to the nation has been let sabka saath sabka vikas, or sabka, everyone must participate in this mission of Viksit Bharat. But let me just present you a figure where academic research seems to suggest that some companies, I know most of the companies are doing it, but just to present a fact that some companies, in order to miss that threshold of 5 crores, they deliberately lower their profits to below 5 crores. So are you getting that? Because if you qualify under a 5 crore profit, then you have to do CSR activities and you have to contribute 2% of your net profits. But unfortunately, some companies don't do that and they deliberately fall below the 5 crore threshold. And the interesting part is the term CSR, the credit is given to an American economist, Howard Bowen, for coining the term CSR in 1953. As per many Western books and thought processes that I have seen, they say it was being practiced since 1800s and 1900s, when the wealthy business families like Rockefeller, as Sri Ravi Iyer ji was mentioning, and others, they started contributing for social causes. But our tradition for thousands of years, the 4 pillars of Purusharth have been Dharma, Arth, Kam and Moksha. So Dharma comes first and then Arth comes. So Arth is to be, Arth उपार्जन करना है, लेकिन धर्म का पालन करते हुए, otherwise वो अर्थ किसी काम का नहीं है. The other part is, as others were saying, that since they are attributing CSR to their own philosophy, before US was practically born, because Columbus तो भारत की खोज में आया था, अमेरिका तो वो बाद में पहुंचा था. तो before they were born, Bhama Shah had contributed his entire wealth for the country, for Maharana Pratap to fight against the Mughals. So, need today is still the same. We are even today, this battle is still on. We just have to identify who is Maharana Pratap and who is not. So Viksit Bharat, we are already Viksit in culturally, civilizationally and spiritually. We are already Viksit. But what we need today, as one of the speakers was saying, that in Bombay, if you go on one side, you will see Jhopadpatti, and on the other side, you will see high rises. So that's where we have to make it Viksit, so that infrastructure wise and on a per capita income wise, we also become Viksit. And some of the, so talking about Maharana Pratap, Maharana Mewar Foundation, I have been closely associated with them also. And they give a lot of recognition to people who are serving the society. I'm part of a federation called Federation of Industries of India in Bombay. I was there and just 2 days back. And they are also doing amazing work. And for Art of Living, unfortunately, I have been told we only have 10 minutes. So I'll not go into a long list, but we have the work done by Art of Living Foundation, which spans across water conservation, waste management, skill development, sustainable agriculture, free education, afforestation and environment, then, and so many women empowerment, rural development, border villages. So for every single item that I mentioned, I have a long list of the work that has been done. So it is probably not possible in 10 minutes to cover that, but just to say that, if Bharat has to become Viksit, then the guidance has to come from spiritual leaders. Traditionally, thousands of years back, kings of India used to go to Raja Dashrath थे या महाराजा राम थे, तो महर्षि वशिष्ठ के पास कंसल्ट करते थे कि आप मार्गदर्शन करिए. Right? So we have to still go back to our ancient civilization where the religious leaders at least play a role in terms of guiding the development of the nation. Because one of our speakers, शायद रवि अय्यर जी साहब बोल रहे थे कि how did some people know, he mentioned about 2 spiritual leaders, how did they foresee that some war is coming up? It is the power of spirituality. You can't read every single book. But when you practice spirituality, then you develop those intuitions, then you can see what's going to happen. And I'm very pleased to mention that even at IIM Sirmaur, we have started a course on yoga and meditation. We are starting now in October to December, so which I'll be, of course, teaching. I'm a teacher of Art of Living and Yoga also. And last year, we had taught a course on managing life and business, which entailed Vedas, Kautilya's Arthashastra, and a lot of other areas covering the national education policy that was being mentioned. So the role of educationists in the Viksit Bharat process has to be very, very important. And let me just also mention a few things related to, so what are the various focus areas of CSR? Schedule 7 of Companies Act lists 12 or 13 such areas. I'll just name them. First area is eradicating hunger and poverty and malnutrition. Second is promoting education. Third, promoting gender equality. Fourth, environmental sustainability and ecological balance. Preservation of national heritage. Measures for benefit of armed forces. So there are like 12, 13 such areas. And we have to, so what I thought of was, for each of these areas, we should, future conferences, we should have sub-themes for each of these areas where we discuss how are we going to work for the development of every single area. You will not believe, 2 days back I was in Bombay discussing with Pollution Control Board officials of Government of Maharashtra, and one area as simple as green hydrogen is a topic which will take 1 day to discuss. So we need to come up with a, as I said, detailed action plan. And what is the framework that I am proposing for that? One is where do we stand today? सबसे पहले हम कहाँ खड़े हैं, and where is it that we want to be? What are the steps required to reach where we want to be? What will be the role of the industry, and what will be, of course, government is there, but what will be the role of industry? What will be the role of common citizen? So, and we have also proposed a balance sheet framework as to who contributes to emissions and who will solve the emission problem. So we have actually come up with a balance sheet framework, which I was discussing with Major General Chadha, General Chadha of Maharashtra, Goa and Gujarat. He is a General Officer commanding for Maharashtra, Goa, Gujarat. And how do we reach the timelines? And we have to build up scenarios for each of these. So we have to come up with detailed action plans. And for example, we have as given by PMO's office, we have a timeline for 2070 for net zero for India. But how do you reach net zero? Because every set of companies will have to work on that. So I'll just give you as an example for climate related disclosures. The net zero target as given by TCS is 2030, Reliance 2035, Tata Power says 2035, ONGC 2038, Oil India 2040, some of them are our sponsors also. Tata Group of Companies 2040 to 50, Adani 2050, Apollo Tyres 2050. So this is how, when every single company collaborates with the government's vision and becomes a partner in the nation's progress, that's how we will eventually attain the idea of Viksit Bharat, and that's only for one area, which is climate. And similarly, we have to come up with detailed action plans for each of the area, and also we have to come up with the scenarios, such as the most likely scenario is maybe by 2045 we will do it. But a pessimistic scenario also has to be built in, that if we fail to do so, then what are the contingency action measures that we plan to put in place. So these were some of the thoughts that I wanted to share. I have actually many slides, but I understand there is a paucity of time. So I'll just basically, conclude that even though I have kind of been critical of the Western world, but we need not be over-influenced by the Western world, but at the same time, if any good ideas come, then we should be accepting that, and which is what is mentioned in our Rig Veda also, that Ano Bhadra Krito Yantu Vishwatah, let knowledge and noble thoughts come from all directions. Thank you very much.